Urgent Cleveland Browns fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Cleveland Browns updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Alright, Browns fans, buckle up, because today we have some incredibly hot news that's been making waves across the NFL landscape. You know, the offseason is always a whirlwind of rumors, speculations, and strategic moves, but this one? It's got the potential to shake things up significantly for both the Cleveland Browns and their AFC North rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're talking about a major pursuit for a star wide receiver that's been at the center of league chatter over the past few months. And let me tell you, the implications of this are huge, not just for these two teams, but for the entire conference, and honestly, the league as a whole. Now, imagine this. The Browns, a team that's been on the cusp of something special, especially with their talented quarterback Baker Mayfield leading the charge. Cleveland has always been known for their passionate fan base and their explosive offensive potential. But last season, they faced some hurdles, especially in the receiving core. Odell Beckham Jr., one of the league's most electrifying wideouts when healthy, has had his share of injuries and inconsistency. And let's be honest, while Jarvis Landry is a reliable target, Cleveland's offensive weaponry has often looked a bit one-dimensional. So, naturally, the Browns have been eyeing that game-changing, dynamic wide receiver, the kind of player who can stretch defenses, create big plays, and turn any game on its head. Meanwhile, just down the road in Pittsburgh, the Steelers have their own reasons for wanting to upgrade their receiving options. With Ben Roethlisberger still in the fold, although nearing the twilight of his career, the Steelers know they need to maximize his final years. Pittsburgh has always been a team built on toughness, smart play, and a solid passing game. But with defenses increasingly stacking the box and focusing on stopping Najee Harris and the run, the Steelers have recognized the need for a game-breaking wide receiver to help open things up. Their goal is clear: they want to keep their offense dynamic and unpredictable, and landing a top-tier wideout would be a huge step in that direction. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Reports from sources close to both teams have confirmed that talks actually took place. Yes, you heard that right, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, bitter rivals in the AFC North, were actually engaging in discussions about a trade for this star receiver. The details are still under wraps, but insiders suggest that the player in question is someone with proven production, a guy who can make that one big catch that shifts momentum, and a receiver with the speed, agility, and football IQ to thrive at the highest level. If we look at the landscape of NFL offseason moves, this isn't surprising. Teams are aggressively pursuing talent, especially at the wide receiver position, to give their quarterbacks the best chance to succeed. The NFL has become a league where a single star wide receiver can elevate an entire offense, change the way defenses have to game plan, and ultimately, influence the outcome of games. So, it's no wonder these teams were willing to make bold moves or at least explore the possibilities. But, of course, the big question on everyone's mind is, did anything come of these negotiations? Will Cleveland or Pittsburgh actually land this star wide receiver? Well, as of now, no official trade has been announced, and the talks might still be ongoing or perhaps have reached a standstill. But the fact that such discussions took place at all tells us a lot about the ambitions of these franchises. Cleveland, with their recent playoff appearances and offensive talent, wants to push even further. They're looking for that extra piece that can push them over the edge, especially in a division that's only getting tougher with teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati improving each year. And for Pittsburgh, the stakes are just as high. With Roethlisberger's future uncertain and the team needing to rebuild around a new core of weapons, acquiring a star receiver could be the key to keeping their offense relevant and competitive. Plus, with the AFC North being one of the most physical and competitive divisions in the league, having that extra weapon could be what separates a playoff contender from a mid-tier squad. Now, I want you to pause here for a second. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. Because, honestly, Browns fans, the excitement doesn't stop here. The NFL offseason is a roller coaster, and every move, every rumor, every negotiation can dramatically reshape the upcoming season. Looking deeper into the Browns' recent offseason moves, you can see a team that's been trying to build a more balanced and explosive offense. They've added some offensive linemen in free agency, tried to bolster their defense, and now, with this pursuit for a star wide receiver, they're clearly signaling their intention to contend. Cleveland's front office is showing that they're not content with just making the playoffs. They want to be serious contenders, and adding a player of this caliber could be the piece that makes all the difference. The Browns have had some iconic moments in their history, but consistency has eluded them. The hope now is that with the right pieces, especially at receiver, they can finally turn things around and become a team feared in the AFC. On the other side, the Steelers, who have a storied history of success, are facing some transitional phases. Big Ben's departure left a void, and although they've drafted a promising young quarterback, the team knows they need offensive weapons now. A star wide receiver could not only help the young QB develop faster but also make the Steelers more dangerous in the passing game. The Steelers have always been known for their tough, physical style, but adding a game-changing receiver would add that extra element of speed and finesse that could open up their offense in ways we haven't seen in recent years. Now, let's talk about the player in question for a moment. Who could it be? The rumors point toward a receiver with a proven track record, someone who's been a staple in their team's offense, someone who's consistently put up big numbers, and someone who commands respect from defenses everywhere they go. The player's talent, combined with their potential for impact, makes this negotiation so intriguing. It's the kind of move that could turn a team's fortunes around overnight. Of course, no trade is ever simple, especially when it involves a star player. There are salary cap considerations, team needs, and long-term strategic plans to think about. But what makes this story even more compelling is the rivalry aspect. Browns versus Steelers, trying to outdo each other in acquiring this game-changing talent. It's classic AFC North drama, fierce, competitive, and full of surprises. The offseason is always full of twists, and this one? It's right up there with the most exciting. And as we follow this story, it's essential to remember that the NFL offseason is a time of hope and anticipation. Every team is trying to position itself for a deep playoff run, and acquiring a star wide receiver, whether via trade, free agency, or draft, can be the spark that ignites a team's season. Cleveland fans, you've seen flashes of brilliance, the playoff runs, the moments of greatness, but consistency has been elusive. Could this move be the one to push them over the top? It's a real possibility, and the excitement in Cleveland is palpable. Meanwhile, in Pittsburgh, the fans are eager to see how the saga unfolds. Will they be able to outbid or outmaneuver Cleveland? Or will the Browns be the ones to land this coveted receiver? The stakes are high, and the NFL universe is watching closely. The offseason will continue to be filled with rumors, signings, and strategic moves, but one thing's for sure, the pursuit of star talent remains the top priority for many teams, and this particular story is just getting started. So, Browns fans, keep your eyes peeled. The next few weeks could bring some major surprises, and if these negotiations turn into a successful trade, we'll be talking about it for years to come. The impact on your team's offense, the division race, and even the league standings could be enormous. It's a thrilling time to be a Browns supporter, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think your team will land this star receiver? How would that change your outlook for the upcoming season? Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns, and I love hearing your perspectives. Remember, the NFL offseason is a time of dreaming big, and your voice is an essential part of that conversation. I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest news on the Cleveland Browns, so stay tuned and keep the faith. This is just the beginning of what promises to be an incredible season ahead.